Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we learn about solving simultaneous equations by the elimination method. Let's start with our first example. We are to solve the following simultaneous equations using the elimination method. So here, we have the first equation to be 3x minus y is equal to 12 and the second equation to be 2x plus y is equal to 13. Solution. To use the elimination method, suppose you want to eliminate the variable y, then the coefficient of y in equation 1 must be the negative of the coefficient of y in equation 2, right? So now here we have the coefficient of y in equation 1 to be minus 1 and the coefficient of y in equation 2 to be plus 1. And so we can now use the elimination method because the coefficients are the same but opposite in signs, right? So here we are going to add equation 1 to equation 2. So we are going to have 3x minus y is equal to 12, then plus 2x plus y is equal to 13. As we have 3x plus 2x, that's going to give us 5x. And also we have minus y plus y, so that's going to give us 0y, which is just 0. So that will be plus 0 is equal to 12 plus 13. That's going to give us 25. So at the end, we have 5x is equal to 25 because 0 has no effect. So that's solving for x, we will have 5x divided by 5 is equal to 25 divided by 5. Hence, x is equal to 5. So that's, we have the value for x. So here we have x to be equal to 5, right? So the next step is to come back to the original equations. Then we substitute x is equal to 5 in either equation 1 or equation 2, right? So here let's choose, say, equation 2, right? So here x is now equal to 5. So that's, you're going to have 2 times x, but x is now 5. Then plus y is equal to 13, right? That's, we are using equation 2 in this case. Now 2 times 5, as we all know, is 10. Then plus y is equal to 13. So solving for y, we have to move 10 to the right hand side. So that's, we are going to have y is equal to 13 minus 10. Thus y is equal to 3. So we now have both the values for x and that of y. With our second example, we have to solve the following simultaneous equations using the elimination method, right? So here we have 7x plus 5y is equal to 31 and 3x minus 2y is equal to 4. Solution. Suppose you want to eliminate the variable y in both equations, right? Here the coefficient of y is plus 5 and the coefficient of y in this equation is minus 2. But to use the elimination method, the coefficient must be the same but of opposite signs, right? So here, let's see something here. When we choose to multiply equation 3 by 2, then we are going to have this guy to be plus 10. And when we multiply equation 4 by 5, we are going to have this to be minus 10, right? So now here we have this to be plus 10 and minus 10. Then we can use the elimination method, right? Multiply equation 3 by 2 and we multiply equation 4 by 5, right? So now let's see what we're going to have. And that's, we're going to have 2 multiplying 7x plus 5y is equal to 2 multiplying 31. So here we have 2 times 7x, that's going to give us 14x, plus 2 times 5y, that's going to give us 10y, is equal to 2 times 31 will be 62, right? So let's call this, say, equation 5. Then we now multiply equation 4 by 5. So we are going to have 5 times 3x minus 2y is equal to 5 times 4, right? So simplifying this, we are going to have 5 times 3x and 5 times minus 2y, right? So that's going to give us 15x minus 10y is equal to 5 times 4 is 20. So we call this, say, equation 6, right? So we now have our new equations, that's equation 5 and equation 6. Thus, we have 14x plus 10y is equal to 62 and 15x minus 10y is equal to 20. So now from this equation, we have the coefficient of y to be plus 10, and here we have it to be minus 10. So we have the coefficients to be the same, but of opposite signs. And so we can use the elimination method to solve this guy, right? So we are going to add our results. So here, when we add these two guys, 14x plus 15x is going to give us 29x. Then we have 10y plus minus 10y. So that's going to give us 0y, which is just 0, is equal to, we have 62 plus 20. So that's going to give us 82, right? So here we have just 29 is equal to 82. So our goal is to solve for x. So you're going to have 29x divided by 29 is equal to 82 divided by 29. That's x is equal to 82 on 29. So we now have the value for x in this example. Now let's solve for y. So from equation 4, we have 3x minus 2y is equal to 4, right? But here, x is giving us 82 on 29. So that's, we're going to have 3 times x, which is now 82 on 29, then minus 2y is equal to 4, right? So here, 3 times 82 on 29 is going to give us 246 divided by 29, then minus 2y is equal to 4, right? Now let's solve for y. So we are going to have minus 2y is equal to 4 minus 246 on 29. Thus, we have minus 2y is equal to minus 130 on 29. So dividing through by minus 2, we are going to have minus 2y divided by minus 2 is equal to minus 130 on 29 divided by minus 2. Y is equal to 65 on 29. With our third example, we are to solve the simultaneous equations using the elimination method. So here we have the first equation to be 2x plus 3y is equal to 8 and 4x plus y is equal to 6. So here, let's eliminate x, right? So to eliminate x, then the coefficients must be the same but of opposite signs, right? When we multiply through equation 5 by minus 2, then we're going to have this to be minus 4 and this is going to be plus 4, right? Then we can now eliminate x in this case. We're going to multiply through equation 5 by minus 2. And so we're going to have minus 2 multiplying 2x plus 3y is equal to minus 2 multiplying 8, right? So we're going to have minus, and so this guy will multiply this and this will multiply that, right? So we are going to have minus 4x minus 6y is equal to minus 16, right? So let's call this, say, equation 7, right? So here we have this to be minus 4x and this to be plus 4x, right? So we are going to add these two equations, right? So we now have minus 4x minus 6y is equal to minus 16. And we also have this guy here. So that will be 4x plus y is equal to 6. We now have the coefficients in both equations to be the same but of opposite signs, right? So we are going to add these two guys. So you're going to have plus here. So here we have minus 4x plus 4x. So that's going to go to 0. So we have this to be 0. Then we have minus 6x plus y. So that's going to give us minus 5y. So we have minus 5y is equal to, then we have minus 16 plus 6, and that's going to give us minus 10, right? So that's, we have minus 5y is equal to minus 10. So solving for y, we have minus 5y divided by minus 5 is equal to minus 10 divided by minus 5. That's y is equal to 2, right? So we have the value for y to be equal to 2. So from here, we can choose any of these equations and then we solve for x, right? So now let's choose equation 6. So we are going to have 4x plus y, but y is now equal to 2, then is equal to 6, right? That's 4x is equal to 6 minus 2, and so 4x is equal to 4, right? So solving for x, we have 4x divided by 4 is equal to 4 divided by 4. Hence, x is equal to 1, right? So we have the value for x to be equal to 1. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.